should speak up.
Well, if it ain't our fledgling chicken chaser. Got a taste for the game now, do ya? Bump your head last time or what? Ain't difficult, mate. You faced that beastie down one, but most importantly, gotta back yourself up with some coin. And then we ain't...
Bloody starving! They finished cooking that dwarf.
Hope you got a drink or two. The ale isn't bad.
Having a drink. It's all the sweeter when it's free, innit? Course, sweet piss is still piss. That inn was asking for a burning, selling this muck. I even...
Gotta be chosen to hear her.
What's holding up the game? Owlbear ain't dead, is it?
This ale tastes like Goblin spit. Who's been puking in the barrel?
Doesn't make any sense.
Bloody arm is killing me. Here's to the best sedative there is. Booze.
Hey! You ain't rounding me up for no raid. No way. I'm drinking. Yeah, here's to the absolute.
This is making my head hurt. One more round.
Pish! Pure pish! They ain't even drunk, see?
Enjoying the view. Looking tasty in these new breeches, ain't I? Proper stylish, ain't they? Nicked 'em off this dwarf we're cooking. Dunno. Was already stripped down to his breeches when I got my hands on him. Had a couple of coins in the pockets and some daft poem. But that's all. Sure you can. But a look's all you're getting. For all I know, this little roaster was some famous bard. And you'll be selling his last words for a pretty penny.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Of course. I wouldn't keep nothing from the Absolute.
Your mind lurches, reeling suddenly as if bitten.
Enjoy the party, boss.
Light on my feet.
You lot spend.
No go inside. Inside. Boring.
There goes nothing.
Bloody racket. Oh, come on now. They're just having a bit of fun.
So much fun that those thieves almost got past.
We got them now, eh? whelp start singing, we'll know who sent them.
Oi! Ain't no party in here. We're doing the Absolute's work. State your business. Now.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Can't be here to see the true souls. Those types don't even bother to wait. Well, I didn't say that. But you'll need to be more specific, mate. Absolute's blessed us with 3. You here to see Priestess Gut, Boss Ragslin, or the Drow? Well, look. Big Boots here has an appointment with Draw Ragslin himself. Throne room's at the back. He's communing, mind, so step soft. Bloody racket.
Oh, come on now. They're just having a bit of fun.
Nice, so much fun that those fiends almost got past.
We got 'em now, eh? And once the whelp starts singing...
Seluna. As if mingling with a horde of goblins wasn't bad enough. Let's do what we have to do, then get out of here. Quite the understatement, but yes. Let's not linger in this place any more than necessary.
Most would think us mad for wandering right into the middle of a goblin war clan. I suppose that goes to demonstrate just how desperate we are. The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow. I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons. It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure. I don't think so, but you're sweet to ask. Maybe just be patient the next time you see me wince or cry out. It'll pass quickly enough. It always does. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning.
Quite the understatement, but yes, I have it. And I'll guard it with my life. I was part of a group sent by my cloister. We were to take the artifact from the Githyanki and bring it to Baldur's Gate, no matter the cost. Though it turned out the cost was very steep. I was the only one of the group to survive. I took the artifact and fled, only to be ensnared by mind flayers before I could finish the mission. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. That's not a luxury open to many people, us included. I have my faith to turn to instead. You should find something of your own. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell. What, besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's a deal. No, I can't. Quite literally, I mean. With my memory suppressed, I can't betray Shah's secrets. But I can't remember much of myself either. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored. Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed.
We'll pay him a visit in return. That'll be some real fun.
Goblin parties are so much more fun than anything you'll find in Baldur's Gate. Or the Hells, for that matter. Not that I'm suggesting we stop for a drink, of course.
Drink it in. That sweet, sweet chaos. Not that I approve of goblins, of course, filthy little beasts, but I do like a good den of debauchery.
On your flesh.
This ruin's dedicated to Selûne.
Then I hear a voice. You're too feeble.
Goblin's decoration.
Now here's somebody special. The Absolute has touched you, hasn't she? Priestess Gut needs to touch you too. Hold out your arm so I can mark your flesh. Shows our devotion to the Absolute. These maggots see how strong we are with her guidance. Whole camp will be branded soon, and you should be too. You ready? Brace yourself. This'll sting. Hold still.
As pain muddles your thoughts, your minds become entangled. A familiar sensation. She, too, carries a parasite. Darkness seems to swallow the temple, leaving you with a vision of the Goblin priestess receiving instruction from a handsome young man, one of the chosen. The vision dissolves away. You stand before the Goblin priestess in the temple once again. Her faith floods into you, a tide of shuddering ecstasy. Her tadpole nestles within that mania, secure, hidden.
I feel you in there. Digging around. Works both ways. And I saw some weird shadows swimming around in your head just now. Maybe I can help with that. Us true souls gotta look out for one another. You've come to the right place. With the Absolute's will, I can fix anything. Let's deal with this in my chapel. It's private. Don't want this lot interfering with true soul business.
Oi! Priestess!
Are infected
We
like
want
us.
the mark!
Why do they think they're talking to a
Ain't
god?
we good enough for the Absolute?
Look at this. That's God's mark.
Ain't polite to stare, Wormwalt. If you ain't got the guts to get branded, clear off. Oof, Priestess got you good. That's a lovely bit of work. Praise the Absolute.
How you doing?
Leave me alone. I ain't got time for chatter.
That the jingle of coin I hear? You've timed it well, my friend. Already turned quite the profit today, so I'm feeling generous.
You recognize the crest she bears, the winged serpent of the Zentarim.
Half right, sharp eyes. Zen is a normal trader. Just a matter of what's for sale. Weapons and other exotic goods, true enough. But most of all, we offer discretion. No judgment, no right and wrong, just good deals and bad. That a problem for you? Pleasure.
We want you dead, you dumb knuckle. Not dead and heroic. Get down there. Another outsider come to see the boss? Mind your manners now, or he'll throw you in the pit. Get down there and stop complaining! Ah! Praise his ever-bleeding axe. Praise his throne of flaming iron. Praise Maglubiet.
You know Maglubiet, a tyrannical deity who treats his goblinoid followers as slaves.
Trying to interrupt my prayers? Scared of a real god? You're as goonless as the rest of them. Cause I'm loyal to Maglubiet. Cause I ain't having my head turned by some upstart god. Could tell you were as balmy as the rest of them as soon as I clapped eyes on you. Bollocks to your absolute, and bollocks to you and all. This ain't the party, pal. We're working here.
If I were you, I'd get me arse back to the party before somebody put me to work.
If you're close enough to talk with me, then you're too damn close.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Keep moving. Unless you're wanting a clubbing and drubbing. Since we've been here, I miss the swamp. Proper nice that swamp was.
I've got a long road ahead. I have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it. Scrying eye. Best not do anything suspicious while it's watching.
You see the eye what's it floating about? Best hope it don't take a fancy to ya. Unless you like playing hide and seek when you're trying to take a damp. It's a floating eye, mate. What do you reckon? Bloody spying on us. The bigwigs at Moonrise like to be involved, the drow says. Load of trollop. Just don't trust us to do what we do best. Killing things. How about I start following you, eh? How'd you like that?
The village to the east. It's abandoned.
Looks that way. But Scout said...
Your scouting party has not returned, and half of the intruders escaped your guards.
Sorry, mistress. We mucked up.
Until their sanctuary is found, I will take something precious from you every hour that passes. A trinket, a tongue, a limb.
I ain't no use without my limbs. The lad'll make the prisoner squeal soon enough, I swear.
Silence now, creature, or I will silence you forever.
As she turns to you, her thoughts mingle with yours. A cold hand caressing your brain. The chamber melts away to reveal a dark, endless nowhere. In it, you see a vision. The drow listens as a pale-eyed young woman whispers in her ear. One of those the voice spoke of. One of the chosen. The vision fades away.
A true soul? Praise be. Are you here to join my hunt? Worshippers of a false god. Their existence is an insult to the Absolute's claim on this region. There is a weapon the Absolute seeks. I'm sure those wretches have it hidden away there. We will find it amongst the dead and the ashes.
Her excitement is palpable. She lingers on thoughts of victory, of unbelievers' blood spilled, and of the weapon. She will seize it. In the Absolute's name. You feel Shadowheart's anxiety. The weapon the Absolute seeks, it's the artifact that she carries. The same one that protected you as you entered the Goblin camp. Her mind focuses. The cultists cannot discover that the weapon they seek is within their grasp.
The thief, whimpering in our dungeon, tried to flee to their sanctuary. We will continue to remove parts of him until he tells us exactly where it is. He's been resilient, but he'll talk.
She is seeking the grove you visited. Already you feel her mind closing around yours.
Speak, true soul. The hunt must begin soon. Excellent. Be sure not to kill him before he talks.
No prizes for
How
guessing
many
what
raiders
this
do we have?
weapon thereafter really
Plenty of
is.
lashers, loads of hunters, and a few pariahs to carry the...
These pariahs, they're prepared to fight for the Absolute.
What they do ain't exactly fighting. All they gotta do is light up their powder and burn.
Then they're prepared to die for the Absolute. Good.
Dying's the only thing they're good at. What are we waiting for? Spears are sharp. The lads are all riled up and ready.
You have already failed me once. And now you dare to question me.
I didn't mean nothing by it, your ladyship. Honest, I didn't.
Much like your words as you leave it. Well, end the latter and save the former.
But scouts said they heard something moving around.
Let's move.
Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here.
You recognize the Scourge. This man is a follower of Leviatha, goddess of pain.
Ah, are you also here to assist with the prisoner? I was invited to teach them some of my techniques. I live for pain and its intricacies, you see. But alas, these goblins seem to thrive on the crude and primitive. Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree? Exactly. Pain is an intimate thing. It should be delivered with a loving and measured hand. But trying to discuss such subtleties with these creatures is simply... Forgive me, but that look in your eyes, something terrible has happened to you. Because I see those same eyes when I look in the mirror, dear one. We've all suffered in these dark times. It is little wonder you bear scars of pain and anguish. Please, let me alleviate this pain. As the Maiden of Pain, the goddess Leviatha teaches us, through penance, administered by my skilled hand. My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise.
Go on! I have to see this!
Oh, I have something exquisite in mind. Both Leviatha and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one. And should you delight her, you will most assuredly receive her most gracious blessing. Trust me. Simply face the wall, and we can begin. Yes, this will do nicely. The pain you suffer will cleanse you. Do not fight it. You want more? As you wish, dear one.
Would you have joined up with him if you'd known he'd be indulging in this sort of thing, Astarion?
I mean, I had my hopes.
Wonderful! Just wonderful! Wonderful. You want more? I'll give it to you.
My. Who knew our friend had so much blood in them?
Try not to lick your lips as you say that.
That's it! Welcome the pain. Let it become part of you. I hope that's a promise, dear one. Sweet child, you bore the pain like a true believer. I am proud to have served you this penance. Oh, as did I, dear one. Loviatar herself found your performance inspiring. She has deemed you worthy of her blessing. And on a personal note, thank you. That was positively divine.
There's the prisoner.
Ain't a prisoner. He's my pigeon.
Biggest bloody pigeon I ever saw.
Don't go bothering my pigeon. He's mine. Keep him safe. Listen to him coo. Till I gets hungry or some such. What's it to ya? Then catch one on your own.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
This Ranger better not go yapping about my pigeon. I should have turned him over to Minthora by now, but he's such a nice little pigeon. What? I ain't. Minthora don't give a cake what you think. Bah, just take him if you care so much. See if he'll sing for the likes of you, though. Bloody think. Here's the key. Pigeon's all yours.
Look at this! I'm quite saved! A joy to see a familiar face in such a precarious setting. I guarantee the story of your daring rescue of my person will live on for eons. I intend to do just that. A trusty invisibility potion goes a long way in a place like this. We mustn't tarry, but I'd hate for our friendship to end here. Please, won't you meet me once we've both slipped the goblin yoke? Smashing! Soon, my friend. Soon we can share a flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do. I'll slip away when the coast is clear. See you soon, my friend. I simply can't wait to pick your brain! My good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. As a matter of fact, I do. But why do you? That can't be. You're either an excellent storyteller, or you've experienced something quite exceptional. Tell me, have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter? Curious. Illithids, their technical name, form a hive mind. One shouldn't be able to hear their dark whispers unless... That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, dear sweet gods! I mean, yes. I suppose I can. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
I wonder what the next move is.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Watch your back.
Wits and blades, always sharp.
No one's stopped me yet.
A long way to go still.
Wish to live in more interesting times.
Keep your distance, darling.
What's cooking?
Still alive, so that's progress. Another step forward.
What's on your mind? Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. An eruption the size of Waterdeep, I think my exact words were. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like to be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable, to be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral. The end of Karsus and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. If it takes the death of a god to stop you, I'd say your ambition has gotten somewhat out of hand. Not that I'm one to talk, of course. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Always a pleasure.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something? I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? My Lady Shah is the Night Singer, the patron of darkness and loss. Most fear the dark, like children. Because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals. There's comfort, yes. But often there has to be pain beforehand. We tear down the lies the world is drunk on. The institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths. Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company. Fine. What's on your mind?
Have to keep going. A private word would be nice.
Well met. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mazora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
What can I do for you, my friend? I've already apologized. What more do you want? Unless you're looking for another nibble. No innocence. You have my word. Only villains that we need to kill anyway. After all, you know what I am now. I can fight with all my weapons, teeth included. And if I happen to drain the occasional bandit during a fight, what's the harm? They're just as dead. As am I. I'm starting to feel a little peckish already.
What's on your mind?
Speak. Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born. Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Let's see what this does.
The air is heavy. Moisture drips down your forehead. Pain shoots through your fingers. Your hands shake as they reach upward. Your forehead remains drenched no matter how much you wipe.
Chukil Gate Vlakith Mazathok! Can you feel it crawling through you? Tendrils squirming in your chest, gripping your heart, piercing your belly. Your bones popping, your flesh swelling. I can. I see it in you. I feel it in me. We are lost. I will be quick with my blade. First you, then the others, then myself.
Your minds intertwine. You sense a touch of uncertainty, a touch of disgust. A shadow swims across your vision, and a familiar voice tells you to be calm. You are loved. Lae'zel's fear grips you. Not fear of death, but fear of insignificance. The great warrior Lae'zel, a failure to her kind. She will wield no silver sword, ride no red dragon. Forever unknown to the great Lich Queen Vlakith.
I cannot trust my own mind. So it seems I must trust yours. I will wait. But know this. I am watching. If the sickness does not pass come dawn, I will end us all. I came just in time. You are transforming.
Yes, you have. I saved you before. And I'm here to save you again. Don't Don't worry. You will not become a mind flayer. Not while I'm around. I'll protect you. We haven't much time, so listen closely. There is great potential within you. It comes from that parasite. Your instinct is to resist the power it gives, but you must accept it, nurture it. I will keep it from consuming you, but for the sake of both of us, you must learn to wield it. A fight for the fate of Faerun. A fight we are losing. For now. You can change that, but only if you embrace your potential. I have to go. The enemy is closing in. I will be back. You'll feel better. I promise.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over. You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle. The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat!
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.